Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to Ron's Know Yourself podcast. And today's topic is healing is not effort, it is recovery. How alternative healing, athletes, elite athletes, and sleep renewal, how the body actually heals. Today I want to talk about healing, but not in the way that usually it is discussed. This is not an episode about techniques. It's not a list of tips. And it's not a shortcut to fix the body. This is a very great invitation to rethink health, rhythm, and what truly allows the body to repair itself. So why this conversation matters? In recent years, alternative healing has become increasingly popular. Acupuncture, massage, exercise therapy, meditation, hypnosis, energy work, aromatherapy, nervous system regulation. And people are turning to these practices because something in the conventional model of health feels incomplete. And people want health and vitality. At the same time, we admire elite performers, especially elite athletes, for their discipline, focus, and resilience. And we often assume that what makes them exceptional is effort. But when we look more closely, a very different pattern appears. This is not an episode about sleep tips. This is an invitation to rethink the health, rhythm, and what truly allows the body to heal. So many people who are drawn to alternative healing are highly educated. They think fast, they think deep, they analyze patterns, and they read research. They notice subtle signals in their body, and often they have already done everything right. They eat right, understand nutrition, and they manage stress. They optimize productivity. And they apply logic to health, and yet something still feels off. So alternative healing becomes attractive because it works at a level that logic alone cannot reach. It speaks the language of body, of the nervous system, of rhythm and safety. So why these modalities actually do work? To understand healing, we need to understand which each modality actually does. Massaging, for example, works at a tissue and fascia level. It helps release area of chronic holding. It softens physical knots and restrictions, improves circulation and sensory feedback. And in many cases, massage opens up parts of the body that have been offline for a very long time. But massage alone does not teach the body how to move differently afterward. This is where exercise comes in. Exercise, when done well, helps the nervous system to establish new muscular patterns. It retrains coordination, and it changes how force is distributed. It updates the body's movement map. And without exercise, released tissue often tighten again, so the pattern has not changed. Acupuncture works differently. It communicates directly with the nervous system through specific sensory and regulatory pathway. It can downshift the sympathetic dominance and support the parasympathetic activation. It helps rebalance systems that are stuck in overdrive. Meditation and hypnosis work at yet another layer. They influence attention, perception, and subconscious patterning. They can reduce internal noise. They can shift emotional and cognitive loops. Energy work works on the emotional body and more, allows the stuck emotion to flow again, and very powerful. Aromatherapy works through the olfactory system, which is the nose, so the smells, the scent, and one of the fastest pathway to the brain. the limbic system and nervous system. So certain sense signal safety, others support grounding or alertness, and they gently influence state without effort. So each of these modalities does something real, and each address a different level, a different layer of the system. And this is where many people stops. But for many people, this practice do work, and they feel relief, they feel calmer, they feel better, they feel clearer, but effects often fade. The question is not whether these methods work. The question is, why don't these effects accumulate? The answer lies not in what we do, but in when integration happens. So most conversation about healing focus on what we should do, what supplement, what method, what exercise, what protocol. But elite system in sports science, neuroscience, and physiology ask a different question. They ask, when does change actually occur? So when does change actually occur? In human body, repair is not constant. It is phase dependent. So the muscle tissue repairs itself during sleep, deep sleep. Real integration happens during REM sleep. Hormone recalibration occurs when the system is offline. This means something fundamental. All the work we do during the day requires sleep to become permanent. So massage releases tension, exercise creates new pattern, acupuncture, meditation regulate the system. But sleep integrates all of it. So without sleep, the system cannot stabilize change. So let's look at elite athletes. They offer valuable lessons. Take Eileen Gu, for example. Publicly, we see training, focus, achievement. But interviews, she constantly emphasizes something else. She talks about sleep, about recovery, about respecting rhythm. She has mentioned sleeping 10 hours or more, especially during intense training period. This is not accidental. In elite performance science, you can do the research. Sleep is not passive. It is an active biological process. Sleep is seen as active recovery. So what matters is not the total sleep time. What matters more is the restorative sleep. The restorative sleep. For elite athletes, the combined duration of the deep sleep and the REM sleep often needs to exceed 3 hours per night. So again, the combined duration of deep sleep and the REM sleep often needs to exceed 3 hours per night for training adaptations to fully integrate. So deep sleep supports tissue repair, immune recovery, hormone recalibration. REM sleep supports neural integration, emotional regulation, motor learning, and pattern consolidation. Without enough deep and REM sleep, massage and training do not stick. Movement pattern fail to consolidate, and emotional resilience weakens, injury risk increase. Efforts without recovery doesn't lead to excellence, it leads to breakdown. So there is some misunderstanding about mind over matter, and people get confused. We hear phrases like mind over matter, or raise your frequency, or your frequency determines your reality. There is truth here, but the misunderstanding is that mental intention alone cannot override a dysregulated nervous system. Frequency is not just a thought. Frequency is embodied, and embodiment requires safety, rhythm, and recovery. Again, this is super important. Embodiment requires safety, rhythm, and recovery. which again brings us back to the sleep. So this is especially important for people with very active minds. People who think very fast, who think a lot, they process a large amount of information and they remain mentally on most of the day, even in the evening. From an Ayurvedic perspective, this resembles a Vata-dominant system, and this system benefits greatly from massage, grounding practice, gentle exercise, and nervous system regulation. But above all, they need a deep, uninterrupted sleep to organize everything they take in. Sleep is how the body completes the work. The daytime practice begins. So I want to talk about on duty at night. Many people sleep, but their nervous system never fully disengages. Thoughts continue, processing continue, vigilance remains. And I call this being duty at night. When the system stays on duty, deep and REM sleep are reduced. And without these stages, healing cannot integrate. Basically, it means the restorative sleep is less than 3 hours. So, let's take this alternative healing. We see them as preparation. They are not replacement for sleep. They are not a shortcut to health. They are preparations. So massage prepares the tissue. Exercises prepares the movement pattern. Acupuncture and meditation prepares the nervous system. Aromatherapy prepares the state. So sleep completes the repair. And alternative healing opens the door. But the sleep works the body through it. So there was a time when I myself collect many healing tools. I believe the right combination will finally create stability. But what changes everything was not a new method. It's the understanding of the rhythm, understanding when to engage and when to disengage, when to engage the mind and when to engage the body. So when I stop interrupting recovery, the healing naturally begins. And before I close, I want to offer 2 very practical practice. So first, you need to start winding down earlier. Start winding down early. Know when you're already exhausted, but early in the evening, before your brain is overstimulated. And the second, it's not enough to just stop thinking. We can do some grounding. Grounding means do something that brings you back into the body, but not with efforts, strategy, or mental loads. So we can do some simple things like organizing the house or gentle self-massage, or light tapping on the body, stretching, or playing with Lego, cleaning, organizing the house, or watching something visually calm or familiar. Take these body-based, low cognitive activities, and they help the nervous system discharge the day without giving the brain new problem to solve. So I want to ask you one question. So instead of asking what else should I do for my health, let's ask this question. What I might be doing that interrupting the body, its natural healing? What rhythm should I take? So I will leave you with that. Thank you.